Hello, everybody. Welcome back, you guys, to my page, to my channel, to wherever you're watching me on. Welcome back. All right, y'all. So here's the thing, right? I wanted to share something with you guys. And so I was out of town. So you guys have been following my teaching that I've been doing. I was out of town. And so that's why you haven't seen me on. Uh, excuse me, I didn't have access to all of my things. And so I was not teaching while I was out of town. Back in town, I'm not teaching that tonight, but I did want to share something with us because I believe that the Lord can use the Lord can use anything he wants to teach a lesson, right? So I'm going to share this brief thing. This morning I was getting ready for work, and so I've been out of town for work. I'm back home now. And I was going to chaperone is not the right word. I help at an event that was being held. So I work at a middle school. I work at two middle schools, and there was a middle school event going on today. And so my team, my direct team, there are three of us on my direct team. And then there are three more ladies who do the same thing we do at middle school, but they do it at the high school. So we were all there together. And we all were going to meet this morning at that particular event that we were all working. And I was getting ready for morning. And I was just doing all of my things. And the Lord just showed me something. And I wonder if this could help any of us, right? So I titled this, I Lied, right? Because, hey, the truth is, I did lie. I didn't know I was lying at the time, but I did lie. And the Lord was sharing with me this morning about the power of our words, right? Your words are so very important. The things that you say about you, or the things you allow other people to say about you, and you receive that. Now, what somebody says about me is irrelevant to me unless I grab a hold to that thing and I place it on myself. So I don't want to be a victim of somebody else's words that I grabbed, right? But for so long, I've spoken things over myself that were not true. I thought it was true in that moment. It seemed true. Hey, ma'am, good to see you. It seemed true. It felt true. It felt real, and it wasn't the truth, right? Same. Thank you so much for joining us. Good to see you. And it wasn't the truth. And so when I think about how the Lord is into redemption and how I know he's redeemed my story. Y'all, I've lived this my whole life. So I recall years and years and years ago, listen to me, right? Because again, I didn't lie on purpose. And it wasn't even a lie in that moment, but today it's not the truth. If that makes any sense. I lied sounds bad. In that moment that I spoke what I spoke, it was my truth then, but it is no longer my truth now. So there's a difference. There can be a truth here, but in my present, that past truth is no longer the truth. What I'm living in now is my current truth, right? But all of that being said, the truth, whether it's past or present, is what God's word says about me, right? So all those many years ago when I got separated and divorced, and I was going through all the things with my ex-husband, right? That was a very traumatic moment in my life. That was traumatic years. Excuse me, y'all. That wasn't just a moment. Those were years that were really traumatic in my life. And I remember saying in my not understanding, in my hurt, in my anger, in my woundedness, because when I got married, it was in sickness and health, rich, poor, good and bad, all the things. forever. I said that before the Lord, and those vows I said before God, I take very seriously. Like, I wasn't playing with the Lord when I said all of those things. And when that marriage dissolved, when we were in the dissolution of our marriage, I said to many people, and I probably need to go repent to these folks. I said, I gave that man the best 18 years of my life. And y'all, if you think about it, the best 18 years of my life 16 years ago, I had not even begun to experience the best 18 years of my life. Now, what are you saying, Shakima? Because you sound like you're talking in circles. From the time I was with that man, I was 16 years old when we started dating. He left when I was 33 years old. So I met him at 15. We started dating at 16. He left at 33. So that's a total of 18 years of knowing a person. And then when he left, I was postpartum depressed. I had a 4-month-old baby. I had a 5-year-old. I had a 13-year-old and a 19-year-old. So fast forward, I'm living my life. I'm very dialed in. I'm very dialed down. I'm connected. And I am doing what I need to do, raising kids. I'm not focused on me. I'm not doing anything for me. I'm overweight. I'm 250 pounds. If I'm a pound, I'm 250 pounds. I was 238 for a long time. I lost a little bit after Jackson. But I'm tired. I can't walk a lot. Oh. My finances are in the trash because I'm taking on debt that he left. He's not sending any money to help care for the kids. My blood pressure's going up. I'm on medications. I'm on all of these things. And I say out of my mouth, I gave that man the best 18 years of my life. And I've said that in multiple situations. My whole life, I've been raising kids. By the time these kids leave, I'm going to be dried up. I'm going to be a prune. Nobody's going to want me. All these crazy things that I've said to myself, not that other people have said, but that I said to myself about myself. And the Lord arrested my spirit this morning. And he said, Shakima, you're just starting to live your best years. Those best years are just starting now. What do I mean? When I turned 38 years old, the Lord spoke to me and he said, Shakima, this is your work season. And I knew for sure, that was 11 years ago now. When I turned 38, I knew that I needed to work. I needed to dial it down. I needed to trim the fat, whatever I needed to do to get out of debt, to make sure my children were well, to make sure that I was spiritually grounded in the Lord. I needed to dial in and I needed to lock into that. And y'all, I worked whatever I had to do, whatever venue, whatever thing. If it was, I dialed into videos. I started with the social media. I was working and the Lord was blessing that work time. When I turned 45, so from 38 to 45, when I turned 45, the Lord said to me, now he may not talk to y'all like this, but this is how he talks to me. He said, you are jumping out of your tennis shoes into your stilettos. He said that work season is over. That did not absolve me from working and taking care of my family. But if I think about it, from the time the man left at 33, now I'm 45, that's 12 years. I now have a 12-year-old, a 17-year-old, a 20-year-old, and a 31 or 32-year-old. Those people are grown. They don't need mom to be dialed in. I'm out of debt by then and had been for quite a while. We purchased a home during that season. And so the Lord was sharing with me that I was moving into a season where it was going to be very mild. It was going to be chill. It wasn't going to be that work. No time for people, no time for relationships, no time for anything except dialed into work. When I jumped out of my tennis shoes, which signified for me that work season, into my stiletto. See here, if you've never worn heels before or not very often, you can't walk fast in stilettos. You got to actually practice to walk, right? You got to purposefully place your feet and your steps when you walking in stilettos. Go too fast and you're going to fall over and hurt something, maybe break an ankle. And that wasn't God's plan for me. His plan for me, while not to sashay through life, his plan for me was to slow down now and to focus on me. I've raised my kids. I've given them everything. I've done all the things. Now, Shakima, because you are faithful in that season, between 38 and 45 is 7. 7 biblically means complete. It's over. It's finished. All of that toil, all of that turmoil, all of that go, all of that. I'm working. I don't have time for extracurricular, social, blah, blah, blah. All of that. That season in my life was over. And now I was going to be able to take careful and purposeful steps into my next season. So it wasn't when I turned 38 that I started to live the best years of my life. I actually turned 45 and started to live the best years of my life. I started to think about what I look like as a woman. I wanted my whole style to change. People say, Shakima, you were pretty then, or you dressed nice then. Thank you. And I appreciate that. But it wasn't until I really started to take a close look at me and what I wanted to look like and what I wanted to feel like and smell like, because I didn't wear any perfumes or anything like that. It would always set my asthma off, so I wouldn't do it. But I wanted to move into my feminine. I wanted to move into the place where God was taking me. And I was unsure about it, uncertain as well, because I had always been working. I'd always been, you tie your head rag on, you put your bonnet on, and you just dig in. But the Lord was saying, no, it's time to take that bonnet off. It's time to relax them curls. It's time to just let your hair down and actually enjoy being you. And so at 45, I did something about my personal style. 46 was good. 47 was another pivotal moment in my life when I started to really think about my health journey. I was still large and getting larger by the day. Realized that the perimenopause had set in. And so I needed to go to the doctor and get some things together. Can the Lord heal my body? Absolutely. If he wants to, he can touch it. Say, he don't even have to touch it. All he has to do is command it to be healed, and it will. But I keep gaining, right? That perimenopausal, that minnow belly, all the things that were still bothering me. And so the Lord set me up with amazing doctors. I have my primary doctor that I've been with her 20 years. And then she knew a doctor friend that focused on health. And so she set me up with her. And then I lost a massive amount of weight, like 89 pounds. And then, of course, I've gained a little bit of that weight back, but that's still pushing 68 pounds is a nice weight loss. That's just my thought, my opinion. But that was 47 to 49. As I enter into 49 and some of the things that the Lord has got me doing, and then 45, it seemed like the ministry just exploded. And God is doing so many things in that area. But for me to have looked into the face of people and said, I gave that man the best years of my life, that was not true. That, in fact, was a lie, because I wasn't living my best life then. It took me all these many years. It took me another 16 years to realize that I was living in my best life now. So all the best life that I've had from 45 to 49, these 4 years, he wasn't a part of. So when I look back on that old time and I think, man, I wasted, nothing was wasted in that season. All that I learned in that season, I'm living in now to not repeat it. All that I'm learning in this season, I'm moving forward in this newness. What are you doing, Shakima? I'm still focusing on my health every day. Every day I go to the gym, or I go to the gym 5 days a week at minimum. Sometimes I make it 6. I don't always make it 7, but I work out, I walk. So I'm going to the gym. I'm focusing on my health. I'm focusing on things that make me feel feminine. I get my nails done. I get my hair colored. I wear makeup sometimes. I don't have any on right now, but I wear makeup sometimes. I'm focusing on the scent that I want to be recognized by. So I'm trying different things. One of my favorite scents right now is Dolce's Lily. I really love that one. And then I have another Dolce & Gabbana that I really like. And I just ordered another one that's supposed to be really good. And so I'm trying to walk fully into this feminine season, because I really feel like the Lord has me in a feminine season. Feminine, I hate to say this because I don't want to generalize, but feminine women tend to wear stilettos. We tend to wear heels. We tend to wear um we tend to walk graciously, slowly into life, right? Because our shoes are so tall. It's not that we're purposefully doing it. You have to practice that, right? Or you're going to fall over. So I'm practicing in this season for what the Lord said about me moving forward. And I just, when he spoke that to me, he said, Shakima, you didn't even start living your best life until the last 4 years. So how could you have given them away? What I feel like the Lord wants me to tell you guys and communicate to myself as well is this. If you've said that, I've given the best years away to somebody else, go back and look at your life. Was it the best years? Are you in the best shape of your life? Are you in the best health? Are you off medications? Are you out of debt? Because if you have all those things going on, there's no possible way you're in best life season. When you have the debt collector over your head, there's no best life season. Can I promise you that nobody's calling? I can answer my phone anytime it rings. When before, back here in these years, in the best years of my life, I was not picking up the phone because I knew it was a debt collector. No debt collectors calling me at the moment. Nobody. Because it's all paid. So now whatever comes in, we take care of our overhead expenses, and anything else could be put to savings, investments, all that. We didn't have investments over here. How could that have ever been my best life? I got some interesting news today. I actually went by the office before I went to the event, opened up an envelope, and in the envelope it says, congratulations, you've met all the requirements to renew your license. Y'all, this is my 6th renewal. This will be the final renewal of my license before I can retire with 30 years in education. That's crazy. I wasn't living in that 16 years ago. I'm living in that now. And I was stressing out, not thinking that I had all that I needed. I'm trying to find classes and courses. And I called, and the lady said, "You're Shakima?" I said, "Yes." She's like, you're at this school? Yes, ma'am. And you do this? Yes, ma'am. She says, "Your license is clear. You just need to wait for DPI to send you your email, pay your fee, and you're clear." This is the best life. I'm stressing out over how I'm going to get these credits because my license renews before in June of 26. This is my year. And God's like, you're stressing over things that you shouldn't stress. This is the best time of your life. My children, y'all have known, if you followed me for any length of time, that I desire to have a love in my life. I desire a man of God to walk with, to live with, to marry, to do all those things. And I couldn't do it back here in this season because I had small kids. Guess what? I don't have small kids anymore, y'all. I can go where I want, do what I want, fellowship with who I want to. I have the options for options, all the things. I'm in the very best time of my life. And you can be in the very best time of your life, but you got to look at where you are. You got to look at what you have going on. You got to look to see, hey, God, is this exactly what you want for me? Is this not what you want for me? And then line up, right, with what he wants, because there is a such thing as the best years. Whoever gets me now, and I've said this many times to y'all if you've been watching me, whoever gets me now is going to get the best version of me that I've ever been. But there's such redemption in the Lord for him to let me know that as good as I am now, it's not the best that I'm ever going to be, because I'm still ever evolving into that thing, that woman, that image that he's put in my mind and he's engraved on my heart to be in my future. This is not the end. This is the best season of my life right now. But there is something else that's coming on the back end of this that I'm preparing for. And so I just thought, Lord, thank you for allowing me to get that revelation. That was a revelation from the Lord for me. Maybe it's not for anybody else, but to say that I'm living my best life when I gave away the best years of my life. I even thought that, y'all, while I was raising my kids. And for a minute there, I was resentful, not of my children, but of this man who left me with these children. Like, how do you get to go off and live your life? And I'm stuck, because that's what I thought. I am stuck here with these kids. And again, the Lord is sharing, Shakima, you gave those kids all that you had. which all I had was myself and time, right? I gave them myself. I gave them time. I gave them the lessons that the Lord shared with me to share with them so that prayerfully their life could be on a good trajectory. And now that they are where they need to be, they get to see mom in her best life. They saw me when I was heavy, and my kids all the time tell me, Mom, you're doing so well. They saw me when I was big with 3 chins and 4 stomachs. These kids have been with me through the trenches. And what good has God done us to allow my children to see me now? These are the best years of my life. And so can these be the best years of your life? Does that mean you don't have a work period? Absolutely not. Does that mean you don't have a season or time when you got to dig in and lock in? Absolutely not. But at some point, you get to come out of that season. At some point, you get to come out of that and you get to experience the goodness, the newness, the best life part, the best life season. I remember years ago we were in the green season. The green season was huge for me. That was a thing that the Lord had given me. He said, Shakima, you're in the green season. Everything around me was growing. There was just growth. The money was growing, the business was growing, the ministry was growing. It's just grow, 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 grow. Right. And so when you get to this season right now where I'm in, where it seems like things have stalled out a little bit, I can think, well, God's hand is off of me, or I can understand that we go through those times of great maturity and great growth and all of that. But then there's a time of dormancy, right? There's a time when the garden goes to bed. It doesn't mean that it won't produce the next season. It just means for this season, it's asleep, and that's okay. And so I had to think about that, because whether I'm producing green, 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 I'm still producing, and I'm producing, or I'm living in the best time of my life right now. So I lied when I said that I gave it away. I didn't give it away. And even if I did give away what I felt like was the best, the Lord is a redeemer of the time. Joel 2:25 says, and I will restore the years that the cankerworm and the palmer worm have stolen from you. And I believe the Lord for Joel 2:25 over my entire life. Those years that were stolen from me, those years that were taken away by sickness, by divorce, by wayward children, by financial difficulties. See, we always want to blame a person. There were other things at play here. And so all that was taken away by those particular things. The Lord has done his big one, and he has recompensed me on the back half. I could not be in a better time in my life than I am right now. I'm firing on all cylinders, y'all. My health. I went to the gym the other day, and there's a particular trainer in there. There's all kinds of trainers in there, but there's this one gentleman, and I think he's like an athletic trainer, because I see him working a lot with younger kids, like teenagers, high schoolish. So I'm thinking he trains them for their athleticals, right? They want to be on a baseball, football, whatever. So he's helping build them muscles that way. And I see this gentleman in the gym quite often. Don't pay him any mind, because I'm not about to pay him any money to train me. So there's no need for us to even make eye contact or nothing like that, because I'm not about to get a trainer that's going to cost me money. So I usually work out in the back room if I'm doing a leg day. If I'm doing an arm day, I'll go in the main gym. But if I'm doing a leg day, I go in the back room, because nobody's watching, and more of the leg stuff that I need is in the back. So I happened to be in the back one day where he comes in with one of his little clients, and he's looking for stuff. And I had some equipment there, and I'm like, is there something that I have that you need? You're more than welcome to it. Because I realized that's his job, and I can always adjust. So went on about my business. A couple days later, I see him in there again. I'm in that back room. He comes in looking for something again. I'm like, is there something that you need? He comes over to me and he says, I see you, sister. And he pounds me a fist bump. He says, I see you doing your thing. You're in here working it out. Y'all, there was a time when I couldn't walk up a flight of stairs. You can't tell me that I am not living my best years now. I can probably do 2 steps at a time. But this is the best time now. So for all of us who think we've given away, right? We've given away the best. We haven't. It's just up to us to be the best now. How can I be the best now, Shakima? If you're not in good health, get in good health. That doesn't mean be 110 pounds if that's not healthy for your body frame. My plan is to lose another 30 pounds. I'd love to lose another 30 pounds. It's slow and steady every day. It's slow but sure every day. How do I get in my best years, Shakima? If your finances are not where they need to be, sit down, put a plan together to figure out where your finances need to be. In 2026, that's going to be the biggest savings year of my life. I've got goals. We can't be Amazoning every week. I'm not traveling in 26 very much. I traveled a lot these last couple years. Had never traveled before in my life to the extent that I've traveled in the last 3 or 4 years. But next year, that's not even on the list of things unless I have airline points and hotel points. So that's the only way I can go. If I got airline points, I can go. And if I got hotel points, I can go. If I got to come out of my pocket with funds, I can't do it. Why? Because I've already set in my heart that I need to have a specific amount of money saved up next year. Why? Because I've asked the Lord to send me my husband, and I want to make sure that I can pay for a wedding, small wedding that it will be. I want to make sure that I can pay for that. I want to make sure that when we merge households, we have all the things that we both equally need to be comfortable. I don't believe that he'll come here, and I don't believe I'll go where he is. I believe we will sell what we have and do something different together. But I want my finances to be right for that. If your credit is bad, work on your credit. How can I get my credit score? There are ways. Figure it out. Okay, this is what I got to do. Y'all, it was a time when I was in the 500s, but that's no longer. I have exceptional credit now. You go look up and see what score that is. My score went from over here to exceptional. I was never living in or having the best years of my life when I was at 520 in a credit score. But I am living the best years of my life now where I am exceptional. How is that best, Shakima? Because when I do join, when I do couple, when the Lord allows me to do that particular thing, I'm going to come to this situation at the best level I could have ever hoped to be. If your children are not where they need to be, perhaps, sis, I'm saying this in love to people who might appreciate that. You might not appreciate this. I didn't appreciate it either. Perhaps love is not on your agenda right now, but getting your children together, giving them the best that you have, teaching them the ways of the Lord, all those types of things, that honestly could be the best that you have to give them at this moment. And I'm going to encourage you and myself as well. Listen, I need to sow into my children. It makes the best sense because when you take time to do it, and those 16 years were tough because I wanted somebody to help me raise these kids. But when I did it, now I look back, and whoever finds me now will not find kids that hate their mama. They won't find kids that hate their dad. I never told them to hate their father. That's your dad, and you're going to respect him as such, and we're not going to have no problems. They're not going to find a woman who is now bickering with her ex-husband. They're going to find me totally walking in my feminine energy, living my best life, doing all the things that the Lord has called me to do. Why? Because it is his goodness and his mercy towards me that wants me to do that. And I couldn't be any more thankful that this is the time I get to do it. I'm clear in my head. I'm clear in my heart. I was thinking this morning, I said, Lord, do I feel anything ill against anybody? Do I, is there anything that's just going on that I need to deal with? And it's not. It's nothing. There's nothing. I feel absolutely no hard feelings way towards anybody. Thank you, Jesus, because it wasn't always that way. So I want us, you, me, all of us, everybody, to live our best years now. Because I know over here, it seemed like you just gave everything you had. Trust me, it wasn't everything you had. There's more. And we can walk in that more if we trust the Lord for it. So anywho, y'all, I just wanted to share that. Y'all, the Lord really that was a quick revelation that God had given me this morning. And it lifted my spirit. It lightened the load a little bit. I've been carrying a thought in my head for a minute, and that it was just like, that's done. That wasn't the best for you. You're now in the best over here. And the truth is that God can redeem and restore wherever you are. So it's up to you to figure out if you want that restoration. He's not going to force it on you. He's not going to force you to get your credit together. He's not going to force you to get your health together. He's not going to force you to get your children together. He's not going to force you to do anything, but he will walk hand in hand with you in the days that you're unable to walk hand in hand with him. He will carry you to the best destination for yourself to get you in that place. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Y'all, listen, I didn't lie on purpose. I thought I was telling the truth, but I absolutely am living the truth right now. And if you follow me, you know the story. You know, I'm a living, breathing, walking miracle. I am a living, breathing, walking miracle. Listen, I'm not real good with affirmations, but if you are an affirmation person, recite that. I am a living, breathing, walking miracle. Because most of us are. That's our truth. That's our testimony. That's the one thing that we have that we can actually freely give away, is that thought process that I am a living, breathing, walking miracle. Whether anybody else believes it or not, I know my life. When I look back over my life and I think things over, I can truly say that I've been blessed. I got a testimony. That's a song, y'all. But I'm telling you right now, when I look back and I see in the rearview mirror of these glasses where I came from, and I look to where I am now, I go, wow. Look at God. I have a picture in my house. She's called the Red Lady. And the Red Lady, she's wearing a nice, beautiful dress. Looks like something I would wear. She got on a red hat. She has her hands up like this. I keep her on the wall because she motivates me. And I've always told the Lord, I said, God, I want to be the Red Lady. And if I think about where I am now, I'm actually the Red Lady. I'm not beat down by my life anymore. I'm not beat down by the fact that I had to raise my kids on my own. I'm not beat down by the fact that I didn't have money to go and do all the things. Y'all, I went to the state fair totally free. Absolutely free. Didn't have to park. Didn't have to pay for parking. Didn't have to drive myself. Somebody drove me. I'm sitting in the back like a passenger princess, honey. A backseat princess, I guess that would be the thing. Went there with friends. I have friends. Never had friends over here. In the best life, in the best years of my life, I have friends, more friends than I can even count. Went to the workshop, the meeting, and I was speaking to different people. And some of the people that I was with, actually this time, they said, Shakima, you know so many people. You know everybody. I don't know everybody. But when I was over here, I did all things as unto the Lord. And I served that particular place and I served those particular people. And when they see me now, to know that this is who I am, they see the miracle. There was another lady there, and I love her to life. And she comes up I don't care where we are. She will find me and she hugs me and she says, Shakima, I just love you. She says, you are doing amazing. She said, I watch you. I follow you. She said, sometimes I'm even jealous of you. She says, I just am so in awe of where you've come from. That means something to me. So for me to think that the best years of my life were here, when they really are over here, and they have been creeping up on me, and I've been living in them now. Absolutely. Thank you, Lord, for snagging my behind. Get me, Jesus. When I'm off, get me. And I am so, so, so thankful for his promptings. I'm so, so thankful for his never failing love, his never ending love for me and where I am concerned. Everything that concerns me concerns the Lord. The biggest thing on my radar right now is finding my kingdom spouse. That's the biggest thing in my life right now. I'm serving God. That's number one. So we're not even talking about, oh, she want a man. She don't even want to serve Jesus. That's a non-negotiable. That's the thing. Outside of that, my children are grown. I'm 3/4 of the way empty nested. Yes, it is now time for me to walk in my feminine. It is now time for me to attract. It is now time for me to exude. It is now time for me to do all of those things. And I would have been in gross error to think that the best years of my life were over here with somebody who didn't want me, instead of thinking, no, I'm living the best years of my life right now, moving towards the person who does. So I hope if y'all sit with this for just a little while, think about what I'm saying, think about the things you've said in your life and how that can affect other stuff. I just want you to think about it, because God is gracious. And again, he's a restorer. If you don't believe me, go read Job 2:25. It's a good verse. It'll help you. So anywho, thank you guys. I'll be back to my regular teaching next week. I'm not going to pick it up this week since I've been out, but I will be back to regular teaching next week. So please do join me there. I'm going to count these days down because we only have 38 more days. So it's just a little over a month. We can do it before the end of the year. I am sure. Y'all pray for me as I pray for y'all. Keep doing the things that God requires you to do. Know that he loves you, and so do I. Like the video.